If God is good, why does evil exist? And if God created everything, does that mean he also created evil? This question has troubled philosophers, theologians, and seekers of truth for centuries. If we believe in an all-powerful, all-knowing, and loving God, how do we reconcile that with the existence of suffering, injustice, and cruelty in the world? Some argue that evil is not a thing created by God, but rather a consequence of free will. In this view, God created beings with the ability to choose, and with that freedom comes the potential for both good and evil. Just as darkness is the absence of light, perhaps evil is simply the absence of God's goodness. In this case, God did not create evil. He allowed for the possibility of evil by giving humans the freedom to turn away from him. Without this choice, love and morality would be meaningless, for goodness would be forced rather than chosen. Others see evil as something more than just the result of human choices. Natural disasters, diseases, and suffering exist beyond human actions. Could these also be considered evil? If so, does that mean God intentionally designed a world with pain? Some religious perspectives suggest that suffering serves a purpose, whether as a test, a means of spiritual growth, or a way to draw people closer to God. Others argue that the world, as it is now, is not as it was meant to be, that creation itself is in a state of brokenness, awaiting restoration. Then, there is the question of whether evil is part of a larger plan that we simply cannot fully understand. The story of Job in the Bible presents a man who suffers deeply, yet never fully learns why. In the end, God's response is not an explanation, but a reminder of his vastness, his wisdom beyond human comprehension. Could it be that what we see as evil is only a fragment of a much larger reality, one that we are not yet able to grasp? If God created a world where evil is possible, does that make him responsible for it? Or does it mean that he values human freedom so much that he allows even the risk of suffering? Perhaps the real question is not why evil exists, but what we do with it, whether we let it drive us away from God or toward a deeper understanding of him.